Well, welcome back. This is going to be probably the first part of maybe a few in a series. I'm just making a new skin for this early Series 1 E-Type rear door, rear hatch, whatever you want to call it. So the issues with this is still the original skin. There have been some gap issues on the left-hand side here, and I think there's a little bit of damage going through it. On the inside, probably won't pick it up from there, but there is rust around the bottom. So we've decided we're going to make a new skin for this. So a lot of this has already been filmed. We've already got to, the skin's almost ready for turning the edge, but I'll go through some of the previous footage and edit into where we're up to now. So sit back, enjoy, and go through the process of obviously doing the paper pattern and then marking out the new skin and wheeling it up to a stage where we can start to use it. So sit back and enjoy. So yesterday, Thien did the paper pattern here. So we're going to go over the entire skin of the boot lid and onto the bodywork. So we're going to try and take a profile of the hole in the bodywork, not the size of the skin itself, just so we can correct all the gaps. So this is my co-worker Thien here. He's just highlighting the outside perimeter of the rear door skin. So we just use a carpenter's pencil running on the edge so that we use the lead part of it to highlight onto the paper. Any details that we want to see. So in this particular case, just going to run around the outside and then probably do the window opening as well. So just running around that now. So Thien here has transferred the paper pattern over to a new sheet of steel and is just using a scriber here to go through where the lead marking is on the panel, just to transfer all that detail through onto the sheet underneath. So the scriber scratches through the paper and puts the mark onto the metal, and we just put a mark every sort of 5 mil or so, and then when that's done we remove the sheet. And you can see here is just using we use French curves, or we use some of the sweeps that we have just to find the best fit between all those scratch marks, and then we put in a nice heavy scribe line to join it all together. And then the end result is we've got the sheet marked out with the outside perimeter of the tailgate and with the window aperture all marked out, ready to go. So Thien's just running around the outside panel here with an electric shear, just to remove the rest of the waste that we're not going to use off of this sheet. So we'll allow probably 50 mil beyond our outside scribe mark. That gives us a little bit of room for movement. Obviously we need some material for the turned edge as well. Next thing, Thien will just go over taking the sharp edges off so we don't cut ourselves while we're running through the English wheel. And that's about this stage, just about finished. Next thing we'll be doing is running this through the wheel and putting some shape through this panel. This is obviously just the very beginning of the long process of wheeling up and shaping up this panel. This is too big for just one person to control accurately, so I have asked Peter to come in. So Peter's come in and he's taking the lead role with the wheeling. So we're going to have to put some shape throughout this panel, but we'll be concentrating on the area just below the window, which I think you can hopefully see in the video here. That's where the majority of the shape is in this panel. As it comes up through the top and through the glass, it does flatten off as it goes into the roof. But you'll see us doing, the majority of the work is going to be in this area here. So we've got the panel here 90 degrees to what it was before. So I've got the bottom end of the skin and Peter's got the top up near the roof. So you'll start to see that Peter is pulling down a lot more than I am. That's to increase the amount of shape we're putting into the panel in this area. As I said before, this whole area which we're working now is 90% of the work on this skin. It's got a huge amount of shape compared to the rest of it. So Peter's just changing to a slightly higher crowned wheel here. Reason is we're going to start wheeling up the sides of the skin here, and just up between the glass as it wraps around the sides of the car bodywork. It's more of a roll, so we're going to use the wheel to sort of form the metal rather than stretch it and put shape into it. So you can see us dropping the panel here, and this will help to put a roll into the panel. It will put a slight amount of shape in it, of course, depending on how much pressure you've got on the wheel, but we'll use this to roll some shape into the panel, and we'll also do this on both sides to keep the panel equal left to right. We've brought the panel here over to our manual shrinker, and Peter's just putting some very small shrinks in around the panel, just down that side edge, just to help it come around. And you'll see he'll be working the area just below the window again, because that's pretty much where most of the shrinks go, and then down towards the lower edge. There's an awful lot more shape in the bottom section of this panel than you sort of realise until you start to shape it up. So we've brought the panel here over to our pneumatic planishing hammer. I think in this setup here it's got a flat upper die and a 36-inch radius lower. So we're just working the area of the centre of the panel here, just where it needs all the shape. This is obviously a lot quicker than moving all the metal in the wheel, so we'll just use this to I guess rough it out, if you want to call it that. So we're just changing over the lower anvil here from the 36 to the 24-inch radius dies. It doesn't take 5 minutes to change the hammers on this particular machine. Okay. Peter uses this set width shim to set our gap. So it's just a case of locking up the cap screws up top, and it's ready to rock and roll. So Pete's just using a large puckering iron here just to put it in some large shrinks around the outside of the panel. Just remembering that we've got about 50mm extra material than we need here, so all this will be cut off eventually, so all the damage that you can sort of see visually will all be gone. This is just to get the panel to sit down flat so we can make sure that it's fitting nicely on the original panel, which is sitting underneath at this point. So I think I'll end the video here. As you can see, there's still a long way to go on this panel before it's ready to be fitted to the car. So hopefully I'll try and release a video weekly on this, so please keep an eye out for that. If you want to hit the like and subscribe button, then obviously you'll get notifications of that when that video is up and released, so do that for me, that would be appreciated. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.